Hi folks, I don't know about you, but this heat thing is really getting to me. I'm a hot mess. It was 90 degrees by 10 o'clock this morning. Again, I'm pulling my hair out. I'm sweating up a storm and I'm boiling over. Yep, steaming. So what are we going to do today? We're going to have a good old steam. Have at it. Now we're going to stay clear of religion and politics. That will be a no-go. And we're not going to go too steamy on certain topics, if you know what I mean. We'll be PG-13. But I tell you, in this weather, I just want to rant. Maybe you do too. Now I've gone over the rules quick and breezy. Let me give you the parameters, at least the ones I'm going to follow. See what you think. Let's see. I'm going to blow off steam about a global kind of topic. And then there'll be a local kind of topic. Maybe more than one. I got a lot to say about that. And finally, I get to steam off about me. Your brains are cooked, ready to boil? And I'm not even being funny here. Let's have at it. Before I get full hothead and flame out, aren't these heat metaphors fabulous? Hit the hot button that says subscribe. It really helps the channel along because it lets YouTube know that we're really interested in topics like this, that this kind of information and this kind of community is really important to seniors. And the like button, it'll give me a great cool down as I recover from this video because I'm burning. And just so I don't burn any hotter, a reminder, no religion or politics, and let's be respectful to the world at large and to the members of the Tangerine Door community. We have viewers from all over the world, and I love it that way. So let's be nice to each other and accommodate our differences. There's so much to rant about in the world that won't offend a whole lot of people. So let's go there. First up, my global boil. I don't know about you, but I hate the news. Why do I hate the news? Because I listen to it or I see it on my computer and I feel the whole purpose of the news these days is to give us anxiety attacks, to get us all roiled up, as if I'm not roiled up enough. And here's why I notice. I'm thinking back to my college days, but this might have been true for you, even not in your college days. In those days, we were at the tail end of the Vietnam War. Remember that? Walter Cronkite was on every night. I think it was 6:30. At any rate, I went to a women's college, 1,700 women, and we were generally required to live on campus. So campus pretty much had everyone that went there. There were a few day students. There must have been 120 young women in my dorm, every class, all bright young women. And we'd get finished with our dinner, and in those days we had sit-down dinner, one menu, no choices. I know some of you might be horrified at that, but that was the case. We all sat down at the same time, we all ate at the same time, and it was family style. There would be big platters in the middle of the table, and we'd help ourselves. When we were done with that, all of us, I mean 120 of us, would decamp to the living room. The living room had a TV. It was the only TV in the building. In those days, folks didn't have their own TVs. We had one per dorm, and really it wasn't that big. And yeah, most of my peers there weren't really interested in watching TV all day, but everyone watched the news. After dinner, that's where we went. We sat in the living room, piled on the floor in the chairs, and watched Walter Cronkite. Every weeknight, I would guess. I remember a few things about that in particular. One is, though the content he was talking about was inflammatory and might get your goat, there was a lot about the Vietnam War, and people were very opinionated about that. His tone and presentation were not about inflaming minds. There was that. That seems very different from now. The second thing I remember, and this is a much more delicious memory, we sat there, all 120 of us, all bright young things, making comments about what Walter Cronkite was saying and about the contents of the news. Bright minds, reacting, interacting, noticing each other as a community, because there was an energy in the room, a vibrancy of young people having ideas and thoughts, opinions, and being quite free with them. And then their ability to engage with the material, look at it critically. And yes, it was about 99% critically. But at least the information we were getting was not designed to provoke and get us all riled up. It could make us think, it could make us angry, and it did. It could make us reactive, but the main purpose was not to make us anxious. Those were such good memories. What a great place to learn about the news. And that feeling of community when you receive news, that it was information to be responded to and thought through, discussed. It had real meat on it. It didn't have as its whole purpose the goal of riling people up, which is pretty much the way I feel about the news now. I feel that way so much about the news now that I've stopped watching altogether. There's no way to engage with the information, to feel community about it. Well, except maybe the weather. It's unclear how accurate the information might be, or what the objectives of the person providing it. And all it does is make me anxious. So I figured, heck with that, I'm not going to watch anymore. And so I don't. Now, it would be rare that I do. I would generally pay attention to a dangerous weather situation that might impact me personally. But am I going to consume myself any longer with this war and that war and the other war? No, it never ends. And sometimes I feel as though the purpose of it all is to knock us off balance. I'm not playing that game. It hasn't always worked out for me, I must tell you. I didn't even know the Pope had died until about a month later. In the old days, I would have known in the instant. But yeah, I've had it. Done. That's my global rant. How about local? Funny thing is, I had a couple of ideas about this, but as I was working on this video, 2 young men came to my door to proselytize, right in the middle of when I was doing something that was really important to me. And their presence on the doorstep, it got Brekkie going, it made me jump up, I had to pay attention, get out of where I was. So this is a little mini rant in course about people who come randomly to my front door. I don't like it. Oh yeah, sometimes I can appreciate the determination and the enthusiasm of youth. Maybe my signature is one. It's always someone wants something from me though, and I feel put upon. I didn't realize quite how much that little episode a few minutes ago made me simmer until I announced myself to you just now. But we'll include that under local. People who are proselytizing at your front door or who come uninvited and want something from you. I'm okay with FedEx and UPS delivery. But since that was an extra, I get to have another one. When I'm taking Brekkie for a walk in the woods, I absolutely hate it if I encounter folks who don't have their dogs on a leash, in a leash-only area. It scares the heck out of me. You'll see those dogs bounding down the trail, coming right at you, and you never know what their temperament is. I never know what they might do to Brekkie. I never know if they might not bowl me over. I never know if they're going to nip at my feet. And then the owner from afar will say, "Oh, he's very friendly." And I know already by my encounter with that dog that friendliness is irrelevant at that point. I have to fear for my safety and my dogs, and I just want to get out of there in one piece. I want to be able to enjoy the woods, nature, our free spaces, the areas we can go in to relax. And to have someone's loose dog interfere with that, it makes my blood boil. Who needs it? While I'm on the subject of dog owners in public places, another trend I've noticed lately, people will pick up their dog poop, and that's a good start. They'll put it in a bag, but they won't take the bag with them. They'll put it right to the side of the trail. And if you ask them about it, they'll say, "Oh, we'll pick it up on the way out." So when you're in the area of the trailhead and on up the trail, you'll see one bag of dog poop after another. You might as well be seeing beer cans or candy wrappers or leftover sandwiches, except toxic ones. It's trash and it's virulent. And I don't want to be looking at that in the woods where leave no trace is supposed to be operative so we can all enjoy the glory of nature. That topic got me really steamed, so I'm going to change the subject a little bit. I'm steamed about myself, too. I'm kind of ticked. What about? I'm feeling stiff, old, achy, and it's my own fault. Why? I don't get enough exercise. I used to get a whole lot more. I used to go for a long walk every day. A long walk. But now I'm all out of shape. And before I was in my long walk phase, I biked or I cross-country skied. I did something. But for the last couple of years, well, I've been having issues with my feet, so it hasn't been as easy to do long walks. But did I come up with anything else instead? No. And now I can't find the time to get in shape. So I'm steamed at myself, yeah? There is something I could do about it. I could try and get back in shape, or at least as much shape as I can now that I'm 72. Maybe by the next video, I'll think something up. I have kind of an idea. Let me consider. But in the meantime, I've probably got you riled up about something or other too. So have at it in the comments. Keep away from religion and politics, and let's get not too steamy with the topics, if you know what I mean. Supply your 2 cents. We're here for you. I just know we're all steaming about something or other. That's just how it goes. And at this age, I figure we're entitled. So let's talk about it. And that's enough for now. Time to cool it. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll talk soon, all right? See you then.